My name is Anand James. I'm a director and consultant to Caribbean Flavours and Fragrances Limited.
And I'm Derek Cottrell, managing director of Caribbean Flavours and Fragrances.
I started working with this company when it was Bush, Book and Allen Jamaica Limited. It was a multinational, and I started in the factory as a production supervisor. And then I moved up in ranks to managing director and chairman of the board. 2001, the company decided to sell, and we bought it. And so it became Caribbean Flavours and Fragrances Limited in 2001. Subsequent to that, 3 years ago, I think, or 4 years ago, we went public and we sold majority shares to Derrimont Trading. We are what we call a classical manufacturing company. We manufacture for manufacturers. So we literally make the raw materials for manufacturers in this country and in the Caribbean and a couple other countries outside of the region. We literally take essential oils and we convert that into flavors, and a byproduct is fragrance. And so we take that and make flavors out of it, and we sell that to our customers. Manufacturers, that's our customers really. If you think about any company in Jamaica that uses flavors or fragrances, we should be in there if we are not there. Whether it's big manufacturer, small manufacturer, medium manufacturer, it doesn't matter. We have customers who walk in and buy a liter of product. We have customers who buy a drum of product, and customers who buy a ton of product. So we make for everybody, any volume. Starting capital came from our own resources. I mean, when the company closed and we decided to buy out, we were paid our redundancy, we were given our pension plans, all our savings went into it. So it was a small amount of loan, but majority was from equity from ourselves and friends. We still rely on overseas suppliers for key ingredients. And because we were a small company, Caribbean Flavours, when it started, was a small company. We were unknown in the international sphere. And so most of our cash was used to make sure that we have a regular supply of raw materials. Our local suppliers were aware of us, and they understand the management, the new managers, and they allow us some freedom with inventory. But most of the capital was used towards making sure that our raw materials were constant.
Well, the company is very profitable. We service a unique segment of the market, and we are very efficient in what we do, so we manage to post a very reasonable profit and give our shareholders good return on equity. For the last 3 or 4 years in particular, the company has been growing strength to strength in both sales, volume, and also profitability.
It's in the industrial belt on Spanish Town Road, just slightly off the road. It's next door to most of our customers, and it has been here for 30 odd years, the factory itself.
In initial years, Mr. James would have taken on the old staff from Bush, Book Allen, and that served well. But in recent times, we have been getting more qualified people and getting people who are more science-oriented. So we have people who are qualified chemists, qualified flavor people who have brought into the company, and even more professional management. We find that there is University of the West Indies here do provide good candidates. We have at least 2 or 3 people who work here from the University of the West Indies, particularly from the chemistry department. And in terms of management, we have good well-trained managers here in Jamaica. And general workforce, we get people from, well, all over Jamaica. Our production manager lives in St. Elizabeth, but he's excellent at what he does, and he doesn't mind commuting to come into Kingston to work with us. It's a very seamless transition from the James's management to Derrimont Trading management, because we share a similar culture in that we're Christians. And so we are very strong on the integrity of the organization and the integrity of the people who work with us. So we have a very family-oriented culture, a very people-oriented culture. We are very close to our customers, we are very close to our suppliers, we are very, very close to our staff. So it's a family-oriented Christian culture that permeates this organization. Well, the staff typically works a 40-hour work week. We like when we have to be stretched a little bit to do overtime and work excessive hours in order to meet the requirements of our customers. I myself pretty much work every day of the week, virtually. But my work is something I enjoy, and I do incorporate my family into my job, so it's never a choice between my family and my job. The truth is, as managing director, I'm constantly thinking about innovation, new ideas, so it's difficult to say I'm ever totally away from work. But I do incorporate my family into what I do, so we really have a conflict there. But I'm always at work, at least the brain is.
Just if I go back to the culture of this company and support what Derek has said, it was always a family-oriented company. It's one of the reasons why we sold to Derryman, because we understand Derek and the culture he would bring into the company and to maintain it. And one of the example of that, the family-oriented culture, is that every year our staff takes a day off with management and we go out to a new area in this country. And in the last 30 years, we would have seen 30 different places in this country. My staff, our staff, along with their children. So it's a family-oriented company. If you are going into business, you have to prepare to work hard, hours, long hours, be prepared to make sacrifices. And if your family is not with you, you're just creating more problem for yourselves and your business. So whoever is involved with you into this venture that you're doing, whatever the idea is, whatever the concept is, in particular Caribbean Flavours, when we bought it in 2001, my entire family was with me, very supportive. They understand if you have to work extra hours, they understand if you have to go out late, they understand if you have to travel. But you have to be prepared. If you're not prepared to work, push the hours and be constantly thinking about the company. And when I say thinking about the company, I mean thinking about every aspect of the company, the customer, the product, the raw material supply, the workers, and what is happening around you. So it's very critical that as an entrepreneur, you understand this.
Well, I would say I've always been an entrepreneur. From I was in school, I was pretty much earning my own money. Whereas in 5th and 6th form, I did photography then. Then I went to work at one of the big companies in Jamaica, Grace Kennedy. And there I really began to learn formal business. Tremendous experience there. Wouldn't have traded for anything. But I was always an entrepreneurial type person, so it was not a surprise to anybody really that I went into business for myself. I think it's very rewarding. I like people, and being an entrepreneur, I get to share with customers and suppliers and staff, and I'm a people person, enjoy people. So being an entrepreneur has been very great for me. People tend to go into try to be an entrepreneur for the money, but the money is secondary to me. If I'm not enjoying what I'm doing, then I don't want to do it. So I really enjoy what I'm doing. And as Anand said, your family has to be with you, and my family has been extremely supportive. And they too are entrepreneurs, so it helps. First of all, Caribbean Flavours is unique because we don't sell to consumers. That's not a very normal thing. Most businesses sell to consumers. We sell to manufacturers. Understanding the manufacturing process of each and every customer and their entire flow of their business, and understanding trends and being able to even better forecast their raw material needs than them is something that we have to do, and that makes us very unique. Ideas come from everywhere. We encourage our staff to bring new ideas to us. Ideas will come from the directors, ideas will come from our suppliers, ideas will come from our customers. So we don't have any specific channel that we say ideas are restricted. We go broad-based. I travel quite a bit for Caribbean Flavours and also for Diamond Trading. And I'll take back ideas of products that I see internationally, or even to tweak international products to make it Jamaicanized or to make it more Caribbean. So ideas come from all over, and we'll pursue ideas also.
We have a very loyal customer base, fortunately, because when we started one of the biggest companies, probably at that time the only company that manufactures sodas in this country. And those products have become benchmark. So you have people saying that we want flavors like that. But the most critical thing about maintaining customer loyalty, maintaining product quality, is you have to have in this business good staff, continuing the product. You have to have transitions that are controlled. The uniqueness of it is what makes this business what it is, so successful. Once you're in business, I mean, you just picture it. You have an idea, you decide to spend your money and your time and your energy. Literally, you're taking a risk and you're hoping that it succeeds. And the challenge is make sure that your cash flow, for me, talk about business is my cash flow. Every day I go in front of my computer, I check to see that money is in the bank, and I check to see what I have to pay, and I worry about making sure that I have cash to run the company. So that's one of the kind of inbuilt instinct I have about running a business.
In addition to the challenges that Anand mentioned, the company has to go through a transition. Anand wanted to retire and move on, and he's the knowledge base of the company. So a part of what we had to do was Anand was doing probably a job of about 6 people. So we managed that transition pretty well with his cooperation and with the employing the right people. So we could take different segments of the business and hire the specialists and ensure that we got the results that we wanted. Today we have a company that has managed the transition from Anand James management to our management incredibly well. It was absolutely seamless, no issues with the customers. The customers didn't even realize that there was so much changes happening. We have now we have to make sure we have systems in place to record what are the proper procedures to do stuff. The fact that the company went public, Mr. James took the company public, has helped exceedingly well in ensuring that we have the right corporate governance and that we have the right oversight for the business. Failures is really how you look at it, and it's really your mindset. Because learning is a continuum, so you're going to have challenges and setbacks. But I don't necessarily see them as failures per se, because the important thing is to learn from the experience. And sometimes you just have to learn from the experience. There's no other way for you to learn. We have standard operating procedures, and we have quite a bit of redundancies to ensure that what we do is 100% accurate all the time. Mistakes on our part can be very, very expensive, because if you put our flavors and the flavor is wrong, you're talking about dumping tons, hundreds of millions of dollars worth of product sometimes. So we put in place standard operating procedures, and we do testing along the way to ensure that we do not make any errors. And we have a lot of experience with this, and we have put in place the requisite procedures to ensure that there's no errors. The key is to be relevant to your customers, because the day you become irrelevant to your customers, you're signaling the end of your business. So we stay relevant to our customers, so we constantly meet with our customers, see what their requirements are, and fulfill and often exceed their expectation and their requirements. We also do quite a bit of planning. Right now we have a rolling 5-year business plan. So every year we update it, and we take on the 1-year portion. So we have a 1-year operational plan, and we work to that. And that has been working pretty well for us. And so that's basically what we do in terms of ensuring that the company continues. In addition to that, our corporate governance is pretty strong, and studies have shown that the companies with the best corporate governance tend to stay in business longer. And we have very strong and very good corporate governance from our board and the regulators at the stock exchange. Our business sell to manufacturers. So we don't do mass marketing to the consumers. We don't sell to consumers. So we tend to go to trade shows, we tend to visit our customers face to face, sit with them, have quarterly reviews to see what they're interested in. We'll give them trends and information relating to their industry and products that they will, the markets that their products are in. And so those are the kind of marketing efforts that we do to stay relevant with our customers. This is my life. This is what we do. That's why I said earlier on, I don't really stop working. My brain is always working. I manage to relax even while working. In terms of our commitment, once you take on a business, you have to understand the requisite commitment that goes with that. So we are fully committed to ensure that the company continues to be successful. And it is even more serious for me because we have external investors. So we are listed on the stock exchange, we are publicly listed. So I take that responsibility very serious to ensure that we continue to show a profit to our investors and continue to make sure that their requirements are met.
Speaking for myself, I mean, I know it starts with hard work, it starts with a good idea, it starts with your ability or your willingness to take risk. There is nothing guaranteed in any business, there is nothing guaranteed in life really. But as an entrepreneur, you're starting with a risk and you have to be focused that you mitigate all possibility of anything going wrong. As I said before, my experience has been willingness to work hard, willingness to learn while you're working, a capacity to be humble. Many times you have to accept defeat, not necessarily defeat, you have to accept that you have made a mistake and you're willing to learn.
For some people, success is financial. I happen not to think that's all there is to success. Naturally, if you're in a business, you want to make a profit and you want to have some financial gains. But I think success is far more than that. I think the reputation that you build for yourself and your company is even more important than the amount of money you make. And so if I was to say one defining factor that will make entrepreneurs successful, I think it's integrity. It's in your personal integrity and the integrity of your business. That you can pass on for generation to generation to generation. A lot of business, the greatest fear would be if you're too highly concentrated in any particular area and that industry was to go down. What we have done to mitigate against that, for years this company has been basically a provider of flavors for beverage companies. We have since diversified the company to be in the fragrance business a lot stronger. And we are also diversifying in the flavors business to not just be beverage flavors providers. And that's a major part of our 5-year plan to continue to diversify our revenue streams. And it's through this diversification that we expect to have the longevity of the company and to mitigate against risk.
What keeps me going is every time I come here and I talk with the staff, especially in the lab, and I say, what are you cooking up? What are you creating? And I hear we are doing a melon cherry or a malt, or it's all excitement and you feel like a young kid, you know, cooking for the first time. Your parents allow you in the kitchen. You have all this excitement. As I said, it motivates me because I don't have responsibility. I'm just enjoying myself at the moment. I leave that to Derek.
Well, I think the responsibility that I have to the shareholders is my biggest motivation. And also, although Alan didn't put this pressure on me, I put it on myself, maintaining his legacy of this great company that he founded, Caribbean Flavours and Fragrances. Those are my main motivations. I take inspiration from all over. From our Creator God, I'm very inspired by a lot of what particularly Jesus Christ did on the face of this earth, and his ability to be humble and tolerant, etc. I'm inspired by the works of many men, the music of Bob Marley, the exploits of people like Usain Bolt, Barack Obama. I'm inspired in simple things too, but my son and daughter and my wife is inspirational to me. So I am pretty much, I take inspiration from all over. I don't necessarily focus on any particular individual, but I look for inspirational stuff all over.
I come from a humble beginning, like Derek. My parents had 12 children, so part of your brought up determines how you're inspired. So, I mean, my family inspires me quite a lot. I want to be a successful father, husband, parent generally. So, that's the driving force. My sisters and brothers, they look up to me as one of the few that went into business. I used to teach, so that experience can be humbling and it can be inspiring. I mean, I came here literally to teach, and I end up owning the company. So that's in itself kind of inspire you that you can do further and you can do better.
My favorite aspect of being an entrepreneur is that I get to do the job that I like. And I really like being around people. I really like dealing with people, whether it's staff, customers, suppliers. That's really what I like.
Every moment of this business is satisfying. I mean, I don't know. I talk about the valleys and so on, but the fact that you're doing something that you're enjoying, and you're doing something that people around you are enjoying. I mean, my greatest excitement is when we create a formula for a new product in the lab, and my workers taste and test, and their eyes light up. And then we take that to a customer, and the customer do all their tests, and they do their market research, and they give me a call on my phone and said, "Anand, we like it, give me a good price, and we want to launch. We are ready to prepare labels." And listen, you don't have those highs every day, but when it happens, you're all excited.
I wouldn't say I've had one great satisfying moment. I've had many. This on the stock exchange, Diamond trading was great. Acquiring this company was another great high. Those are big ones. But seeing the success of any of my staff, even the small successes that they'll figure something out and they will be innovative with something, is very big for me also. You know, so I have the ability to celebrate even small stuff.
I watch a lot of cricket. I mean, whether it's on TV or real, I mean, I travel a lot. I'm enjoying my family these days much more than I used to, so those will be considered hobbies for me. I mean, I'm very having fun these days.
Anand and I share a love for cricket, so that was easy for us. I don't get the opportunity to watch cricket live as much as I'd love to, and I get to travel around the world. I have to work. I like spending time at home. I like spending time with my children. I like spending time with my family overall. I have another hobby. Karate is an hobby of mine now, I guess. I'm trying to get fit and stay fit. So those are some of the hobbies that I have. One more interesting one is that I do raise fish. So I do make koi ponds. So that's another hobby.
I'm enjoying myself these days. I'm probably happiest, as I said, because the responsibility of a company on your shoulder has been removed. It's now on Derek's shoulder. So I just enjoy what I'm doing. I'm just very much relaxed in life.
Well, I tend to say that I'm a happy person. So it doesn't take much for me to be happy. But I'm particularly happy when I see the success of my children. They're doing very well in school. I see the success of of my staff. You know, I see the success of the business. These are stuff that will make you particularly happy. But I'll be honest with you, I'm always happy. We'll continue to widen and diversify our revenue base. We are going to be doing a lot more work into indigenous flavors, and it will mean that we more than likely we'll have to get into the extraction of essential oils and other resin. That's where we see a lot of the future is, and we see a lot of potential for that in Jamaica. Jamaica have some unique flavors, and we see we have to do stuff like that. The nutraceutical market is growing internationally. That's an area that we want to participate in. We want to continue to broaden our offerings to our customers and to serve a even wider customer base, not just in Jamaica and the English-speaking Caribbean, but also in the wider Caribbean area, where is our main concentration, and the world generally. We have made some inroads in Dominican Republic. We plan to go to Cuba and Haiti at the appropriate times. So that's basically the future is very bright for Caribbean flavors, very, very bright. The advice I'd give to people who want to go into business is go in, be very positive, understand that there are going to be challenges, learn from these challenges. Don't be daunted. It's unusual for you to go into business and not have hiccups or headaches. So don't let that be the focus. Stay focused on what you want to achieve. I'd also say, very important for me, integrity is very important. You can rise very quickly, but you'll fall very quickly if you are not a person of integrity. I would suggest strongly that you be patient and stay on the correct path. When on the Caesar what is Caesar, pay the government what you're supposed to get, be very fair to your staff, and I think in the end stuff will work out for you.
The advice I'll give to someone who wants to become an entrepreneur who are just started and is that get into a business that you will enjoy or you are enjoying. If you don't, you're starting behind the 8 ball. Surround yourself with good people, good friends, positive people, because when a mistake is made or you are going through some difficult time, you want support. You don't want people to tell you that you're in the wrong business, because you should have thought that out before you started, really. Don't be worried about failure. Let the fear of failure be a motivating factor rather than a burden on your shoulder. You're taking a risk, so you start with a little unknown. Read as much as you can, study as much as you can, learn as much as you can about your business, and just enjoy yourself, because that's, at the end of the day, you have to live it yourself.